For centuries, the Arctic has remained one of the least understood and most unforgiving places on Earth. Its icy expanses, endless winters, and bone-chilling winds make it nearly uninhabitable by most modern standards. And yet, deep within this frozen wilderness, there exists a tribe that has baffled scientists for decades. Hidden away in remote stretches of tundra and shielded from the modern world by sheer geographical isolation, this Arctic tribe possesses a culture, biology, and way of life that has stunned researchers who have only recently begun to study them in detail. What makes this group so remarkable isn't just their ability to survive in such extreme conditions, it's the way they've adapted to thrive, both physically and culturally, in an environment that seems tailor-made to extinguish human life. Their bodies, their customs, their diets, and even their understanding of nature suggest that they might hold secrets lost to the rest of humanity. Some scientists even suggest their genetic adaptations may unlock new pathways in understanding human evolution and resilience. The tribe in question is often referred to pseudonymously in research to protect their privacy, but they are known to inhabit a harsh Arctic region that lies far beyond the usual territories charted by GPS. Their villages, built low to the ground and insulated with layers of bone, fur, and ice, are almost invisible from aerial scans. For decades, anthropologists believed these people had long been assimilated or lost to time. But a recent expedition, made possible by satellite anomalies and local indigenous reports, led researchers to a thriving community of individuals who have barely altered their ways of life for generations. What truly shocked scientists was the tribe's body structure and internal biology. When researchers first began studying them, they noticed some unusual physical characteristics. For instance, members of the tribe had significantly denser bone structures, unusual resistance to frostbite, and core body temperatures slightly higher than the global average. Initial blood tests revealed elevated hemoglobin levels, allowing their blood to carry more oxygen, an essential adaptation in a region where air can be especially thin and temperatures plunge below -50 degrees Celsius. Even more perplexing were their cognitive abilities. The tribe's elders could recall oral histories with an almost uncanny level of detail. Linguists studying their language noted its peculiar structure, containing ancient grammatical patterns that seemed to predate many known northern languages, as well as metaphors that described astronomical and ecological phenomena with surprising accuracy. It was as if the tribe had been recording environmental changes for generations in the form of myths and proverbs. Their diet was another key that fascinated scientists. Contrary to modern health trends that emphasize plant-based diets, this tribe survives almost entirely on animal products. Whale blubber, seal meat, fish, and organ meats make up the vast majority of their nutrition. And yet, despite consuming what would typically be considered an unhealthy amount of fat, their cholesterol levels were remarkably balanced. They showed almost no incidence of heart disease, diabetes, or cancer. One researcher remarked that their internal systems seemed optimized for survival in a way that modern humans simply can't replicate. Then there was their relationship with the environment. Unlike modern industrial societies, this tribe lives with an almost symbiotic relationship with the Arctic's harsh ecology. They time their hunting, fishing, and migrations with rhythms that match not only seasonal changes but solar and lunar patterns. They seem to possess an intuitive sense of impending storms, ice shifts, and even animal migrations. Some members have been able to predict shifts in the ice sheet days before scientific instruments pick them up. It's not just luck, it's knowledge passed down over hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. One stunning revelation came when a team of environmental scientists installed sensors around the tribe's village to measure temperature, pressure, and seismic activity. The tribe's spiritual leader, after watching the process, offered his own predictions for the coming month. His forecasts not only matched the data from the equipment but anticipated subtle environmental fluctuations that hadn't yet occurred. The scientific team, initially skeptical, cross-referenced his predictions with their own models and found that his estimates were more accurate than those produced by their software. Some scientists now believe that this tribe might be operating with a kind of inherited memory, one that is not just cultural but perhaps even genetic. Their ability to survive and adapt seems embedded not only in their behavior but within their DNA itself. Recent genetic studies have begun to uncover rare gene variants in their genome, ones that don't appear in any other human population studied so far. These genes appear to regulate heat production at a cellular level, enhance fat metabolism, and even increase nerve resistance to cold-induced damage. But beyond their biology and adaptations, it's the cultural sophistication of the tribe that has turned many assumptions on their head. Far from being primitive or simplistic, their oral storytelling, artistic expression, and spiritual beliefs reflect a deeply nuanced understanding of their world. One ritual, for example, involves constructing elaborate ice sculptures meant to mirror the positions of stars during solstices. Another includes songs with rhythmic patterns that align perfectly with natural cycles of melting and refreezing ice. These customs aren't just symbolic, they serve practical functions. The sculptures act as visual calendars for tracking seasonal change, and the songs encode survival techniques, migration routes, and warnings about unsafe hunting grounds. One such song, sung in a language nearly extinct, described a pattern of cracking ice that had been responsible for past deaths in their community. By teaching each new generation to sing and memorize these songs, the tribe preserves not just their culture, but a sophisticated body of empirical knowledge encoded in music. Yet the mystery goes even deeper. In an astonishing twist, scientists found artifacts buried beneath their village that didn't match the known timeline of Arctic habitation. Tools and carvings made of materials not native to the region, some potentially originating from regions thousands of kilometers away, were unearthed in pristine condition. This suggests ancient trade routes, contact with long-lost cultures, or migrations that predate known history. One of the most puzzling artifacts was a stone disc etched with spiral patterns that appeared to align with lunar eclipses over a 500-year period. After carbon dating and astronomical backtracking, researchers were left speechless. The disc, if genuine, meant this isolated tribe had observed and recorded celestial events with an accuracy rivaling that of early astronomers in Mesopotamia and Egypt. This raised even larger questions. How much have we underestimated ancient Arctic civilizations? Could it be that we've missed an entire chapter of human history by assuming the Arctic was too harsh for advanced cultural development? And if so, how many more tribes, lost cities, or ancient sciences remain buried beneath snow and ice, waiting to rewrite what we thought we knew about the story of our species? As researchers dug deeper, both literally and figuratively, into the tribe's origins, more anomalies began to surface. DNA comparisons revealed not only unique genetic traits but also connections to both ancient Siberian and North American populations. Yet, there were sequences in their genome that didn't match any known human database. These weren't alien in nature, as some conspiracies quickly claimed, but rather suggestive of extreme adaptation, gene expressions so rare that they might have evolved in complete isolation for millennia. One researcher noted that it was as if this tribe had gone through its own microevolutionary process, diverging just enough to make their biology a window into an alternative path for humanity. Some theorized that a cataclysmic event thousands of years ago, possibly an ice age or volcanic winter, might have forced a small group of ancient humans to adapt rapidly or perish. Isolated in the Arctic, they developed traits that allowed them to flourish where others couldn't. In essence, the environment became a crucible, shaping them into something uniquely suited to survive the extremes of our planet. This theory gained traction when ancient cave markings were found near their settlement, depicting large celestial events, shifting stars, and what appeared to be volcanic ash clouds, a primitive recording of a global catastrophe remembered through generations. One of the most profound observations came not from biology or archaeology, but from sociology. Despite living in one of the harshest environments on Earth, this tribe exhibited remarkably low levels of interpersonal violence, crime, or conflict. Their social structure prioritized communal well-being, shared resources, and spiritual rituals that reinforced collective responsibility. Elders were revered not just as knowledge keepers, but as living archives of wisdom. Children were educated through mentorship and immersive storytelling. The entire community functioned more as a single organism than as a collection of individuals. Modern sociologists were stunned. In an age where modern societies are fractured by economic disparity, political tension, and digital alienation, this small Arctic community seemed to have achieved a level of cohesion that advanced civilizations struggle to replicate. Their systems of governance were decentralized yet effective. Disputes were resolved through song ceremonies, where involved parties would present their grievances through music, judged by neutral elders. This wasn't just a quaint tradition. It was an evolved form of conflict resolution designed to foster empathy, not domination. Medical researchers studying the tribe also discovered something unexpected. Members displayed faster wound healing and rarely suffered from chronic inflammation. When examined under controlled studies, their immune systems appeared highly efficient, with white blood cells that responded rapidly without triggering excessive autoimmune reactions. Scientists theorized that constant exposure to cold, pathogens from raw meat, and limited access to synthetic medication had forced their bodies to become more self-regulating. Their traditional remedies, many made from fermented seaweed, mosses, and organ extracts, showed antimicrobial properties still being analyzed for pharmaceutical applications. But perhaps the most emotionally powerful aspect of the tribe's culture is their sense of identity. To them, survival is not merely a biological process but a spiritual duty. Each member believes they are a living extension of the ice, the animals, the winds, and the stars. Life is viewed not as a right, but as a gift maintained by harmony with their surroundings. They don't seek to conquer the land but to coexist with it. In fact, one elder described their way of life as the dance of balance, where every action has consequences that ripple through the environment and return in time. This philosophy extends into their burial practices. The tribe does not bury their dead in the ground, but rather entombs them in snow, allowing them to naturally return to the earth. Before doing so, the community performs a multi-day ritual where stories of the departed are retold, ensuring their memory becomes part of the collective history. In their belief, no one truly dies. They simply return to the elements and live on through the memories and choices of the living. This cyclical understanding of life and death has been cited as a reason for their strong psychological resilience and low rates of depression or anxiety. In the wake of these discoveries, international interest in the tribe has exploded. But the tribe, wary of exploitation and cultural erosion, has been cautious. They've welcomed a limited number of researchers, under strict agreements of cultural respect and non-intrusion. All studies are conducted with tribal consent, and the community decides which findings can be made public. Their leaders stress that their way of life is not a tourist attraction, nor a relic of the past, but a living, breathing testament to the diversity of human existence. Some scientists believe that studying this tribe may lead to breakthroughs in fields as diverse as cryomedicine, climate adaptation, neurobiology, anthropology, and even artificial intelligence, by modeling systems of decentralized wisdom and decision-making found in their community structure. Already, biotech firms are investigating the tribe's microbiome to better understand gut health under extreme conditions. Meanwhile, cultural historians are working with elders to preserve their songs, stories, and star maps before they are lost to time. But this research raises difficult ethical questions. How do we study without disrupting? How do we preserve without appropriating? These are challenges researchers are now grappling with as they walk the line between discovery and respect. Still, there's a deeper implication in all of this, one that resonates far beyond the Arctic. This tribe is a living reminder that human potential is far broader, deeper, and more resilient than we often assume. In a time when modern life is riddled with artificial distractions and unsustainable habits, their existence offers a mirror, a chance to reflect on what we've lost and what we might still reclaim. Because somewhere in the frozen silence of the Arctic, people have been living in balance with the most hostile environment on Earth. They have adapted without losing their humanity. They have survived without severing their connection to the world around them. And they have done so in ways that defy conventional science, challenge global assumptions, and inspire a new appreciation for the hidden corners of human history. In the end, the most shocking thing about this Arctic tribe isn't their biology, their artifacts, or their technology. It's their wisdom. A wisdom shaped by ice, passed down through song, and etched in the footprints they leave on snow. A wisdom that tells us we are not separate from nature, but a part of it. And if we listen closely, we might just rediscover a piece of ourselves that we thought was long forgotten.